this is a guide to using your own photo mock-up to create your design so it doesn't overlap things that you want to see. And I'm going to stick with only within Design Space. I'm using a picture that was uploaded into the group. Now, the picture that was there was not a completely square on picture, so I have fixed it. So it's better if you're going to do this if you take your picture really square on. So this is a 7.5 by 7.5 inch block. I'm just going to choose simple because I want it to go easily. The colors don't matter right now. So we're just going to keep it as it is. We aren't actually going to print it, we're just going to use it as a guide. You can use this method to create your own mockups to show your customers the designs as well. Just wait for this to upload. Okay, there it is. We'll insert it. Okay. So we'll sit it up here in the corner as far as the let me go. So you can see it's sitting slightly in, so we'll need to go slightly over the 7.5 inch mark. So because it's square, we can effectively design on the front. Now this is for one of the elf surveillance blocks, so we're going to need some writing. Okay, we've got ourselves a nice block of writing. Now next, we're going to want to do these lines all different. So we're going to ungroup to lines. This keeps the text editable, but now we can treat each line separately. So I'm going to stick with free fonts that are included. So we've got Cricut as a selection, and we're going to filter to My Fonts. And it's going to show you anything you currently have access to without having to pay. I don't have access, so I've only got the free ones. We'll go with Script. We're going to need to reduce this line spacing so that the letters will be able to be welded. It's a bit hard to see in black. So here we'll change the color to white so we can see it. This will help inform what color vinyl you choose as well. Now, once we are happy with these, I will need, because of the way this font is, it's overlapping here, so I will move the H and the T a little bit later. So I'm going by the inside edge of this glass. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's still good regardless. It's slightly smaller, so I've got room to move the T over later. I think for these ones, let's pick a different font. This is a layered font, so we've got some options. But this one we'll just leave as is. I'll make this the same. A general design rule is not to use more than 2 fonts in a design. If you do, it can start to get busy. Some designs do break this rule if they have lots of fonts to try and create kind of disorganized or maybe fun feel. But if you want to keep things looking, neat and proper, it's best to try and stick with just the 2. Right. Now I'm going to change each of these green layers to white, I think. So make this 2 layers. Let's make that red. Now this is where we can turn on, over here in the layers panel, we can turn on the second layer, because at the moment it's hidden. I'm going to make that red too. I think I want to give it a 3D look. So in advanced, ungroup to layers. This does keep both the layers editable. And I can make sure I'm clicking the right thing here. Let's see where we want to put that. Now, you can't leave it too much of a gap because you'll have a tiny little space here. So we need to make sure we overlap it well in a way that's going to cut. Because I'm going to slice this out so they're not overlaying. You can just leave them inside and put the one on top of the other if you like. But I want to try and push it just a little bit further. You want to make sure that you slice here, because if you don't, then this white edge will not quite fill the red edge, and when you apply it, you'll have this little gap and it will tend to lift over time. So that doesn't look too bad. I'm going to need to move this elf writing over. Now it's hard to select with this picture here, so we can hide it. And then we can quite happily select here. We can use the grid as a guide to make sure everything is lined up. Let's make that a little bit bigger so it fits between those two grid lines. So it matches here. And we need it to match there too. Keep things lined up, everything will look nice. Okay. So with this one we need to move these letters, so we're going to ungroup to letters. Now you can still edit the fonts here, but you'll have to go one at a time. You can't select multiple and change, which is a shame, but it is what it is. That looks alright. Now you can see this T is just about lined up with that S as well. So if we're happy with that, let's turn our mockup back on. And this is what we can expect to have. I think that looks quite fine. You can use any fonts that you have, any fonts you've downloaded, anything you like, of course. Right, so now let's set about making this cut ready. Hide this again for convenience of selecting. Let's select all of this. We're going to weld it. So all these lines are joined. These aren't overlapping, that's fine. I'm going to select both of these. You can see them selected over here. And I'm going to slice them. Now we're going to get a whole bunch of weird pieces, because that's what it does. So what we actually want, this piece is actually the sides that have been sliced. That would be the bits that were overlapping if you didn't slice. So I'm going to select that. I'm also going to hit Shift and select the other white and weld those together. This one is a bit of red that's overlapping the white. We don't need it at all, so I'm going to delete it. So now you can see that the white just has that red bit that's inside. I'll undo it so it's perfectly lined up. And we have this. If you want to change colors altogether, you can use this color sync option up here. So you could change all of the white at the same time. So if you needed to mix bits, you can. It changes it to there, so you can. This is just the different elements. So you can just change parts around. Right, now to make sure this doesn't move, we need to attach all of the same colors. Or if you know you definitely don't want to change the design again, we can delete these things that we don't need as well. Well, we don't need this purple bits in here. I'm holding Shift and collecting both of the reds. So you can attach them here, or you can weld them. So attach just makes them like a nice little group. So we can grab the rest, white, 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 right click, attach. And Check. Yep, it's definitely good. So we hide that because we don't want to print that. We want to go straight to just cutting. Click make it. A nice little white canvas and a nice little red canvas as well.